She's been shedding these tears for almost a year and a half. Both of Fatma Çeçen's sons are in the mountains of southeast Turkey. One of them is a soldier kidnapped by the PKK last July. The other is a PKK member fighting against the Turkish army. And it's been a year and a half since his family hasn't heard from Osman, who joined the PKK, fighting against his own brother. She's hoping both of her children will return home.
I want this bloodshed to stop. The brothers are shooting each other. It doesn't matter whether a soldier, a police officer, or a guerrilla. It's the same pain for mothers.
Their eyes are fixated on the TV screen. Watching both Kurdish and Turkish channels, they are hoping to hear that at least their kidnapped child Reshat will be released. Because now there is a possibility of peace ahead. The jailed leader of PKK, Abdullah Öcalan, and the Turkish state have begun negotiating to end this war. As one of the first steps, Öcalan called on the PKK to release the kidnapped. As part of the talks, Öcalan sent a roadmap by the members of Parliament of Peace and Democracy Party, which mostly advocates Kurdish rights, to the Kandil Mountain in northern Iraq. This is where PKK's headquarters are, and the roadmap will be discussed here. The Turkish Prime Minister Tayyip Erdoğan is strongly supporting the peace process. During this conflict between Turkish state and the PKK, tens of thousands of people have died since 1984, when the first PKK attack took place. Among these are soldiers, police officers, PKK members, as well as civilians. And now there seems to be an opportunity to solve this conflict after nearly 30 years. In the streets of Urfa, where Kurds are a large community, there is a wait for good news, and they are listening to the words of political analysts from each side. Ferhat Kentel, a university professor and columnist in a daily, thinks that the war will be over.
Because it is the first time in the Turkish history that we are facing a new discourse on both sides. In the sense that, yes, on the Turkish state sense, yes, we are discovering a new language, a new discourse, I think, and it is becoming a little bit modest.
Their sons' pictures remind Fatma Çeçen and her husband of the hope for peace. They are now waiting in Urfa for the peace negotiations to conclude, and their two sons to return to live in peace back together again. Murat Utku, Al Jazeera, Urfa.